It should be good, but it will have to go some to beat the drama of what we've just seen at Goodison Park in the Merseyside derby. We said that was 90 minutes that sums up the Premier League in 2020. This is probably one image that sums up Premier League football at the moment. Someone somewhere has better eyes than us if they can work out whether this is onside or offside, don't they?
Well, it's so close, isn't it? I mean, in the studio we all had different opinions. I was screaming for it to be offside. You guys were screaming for it to be on.
I'm sure you don't mind the decision, but can you understand it?
Oh, come on. Well, I think that, modern technology is given these decisions down to the millimetre. I mean, to the naked eye, I still think it looks onside. It certainly does. But if they're deeming that is offside, then I think everyone's come to the understanding that they have to be given. But it's very harsh to ever rule a goal out for such close call.
It's modern football, isn't it? Because we looked at it initially and we looked at it on the replay and none of us thought it was offside. Yeah. Just, we know the flow of football. Mane's got his body in the right position. Obviously, he's offside by millimetres. It slowed the game down. It took away for Liverpool fans what would have been an amazing finish to a great derby game. But that ball there for Thiago.
He was doing it all day, no-look passes like that.
I mean, Pickford was brilliant after his early
Pickford's
mistake.
blushes, because Pickford had a great game up until this point, but you've got to save those efforts from people. But his blushes were saved.
And look, Peter, we might not agree with it, we might not even understand it, but don't we have to accept it that this is the way football is now?
Well, I don't know, it just frustrates me. I'm like, Leon was saying I was watching the match through red tinted glasses, but I promise you, even if it was the other way, I don't want to be like I say, I don't want us to be sitting here discussing it. No one knows it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal remains the equaliser in the game. I'm sure he's delighted with that goal. Let's get some instant reaction from him. He's with Des.
Dominic, that was an ending. We can't believe that. Heart in the mouth.
Yeah, very strange. I think, as you'd expect in a derby, you got tackles flying in 50-50s, and it's physical. So there's always the chance that the ref might bring out a yellow or a red.
And 10 years you've been waiting to beat Liverpool in this Mersey derby. I suppose you'll be delighted to rescue something here.
In the end, yeah, but I think disappointed that we didn't kick on at 1-1. We've done well to get ourselves back in the game, and I thought, we knew that we would go through spells where we wouldn't have the ball, but we had the quality today. I've had a chance myself, which I'd backed myself to put away, and unfortunately not. And then the game kind of goes the way it does, but it's coming. I genuinely believe it's coming. I thought today would be the day that we would do it, but it's not to be, so we go the next one.
You did get one goal though, a great hang time in the air. It's one of your strengths now this season.
Yeah, it's just something that I've started to play to, and one of my strengths I've started to exploit, and I've always had that in my locker, but now I've got the boys looking for me in the box, which obviously always helps, and I'm getting in the areas which I can exploit it.
And scoring goals in every game. You've surpassed Tommy Lawton's record of 5 straight league goals in the first league games of the season as well, which is not a bad thing to do. Had been a poor start to the first half though, wasn't it? You came out of the block slow.
Yeah, I can't really put my finger on it. Not sure why we came out of the block slow. We've been doing well, and we knew that momentum was on our side. Confident going into the game at home. But sometimes it happens. You start the game a little bit slow, and then they went ahead early doors. But it just shows, we've made strides in that we got ourselves back in the game, and then unfortunate not to kick on and go ahead. Richie at the post as well. So we had chances to go on and win it, but we didn't take them today.
Now, this isn't just about local bragging rights in the city of Liverpool now. This is about a top 4 challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm disappointed that we didn't win the game. I wanted to win today, and I know all the fans did too, and so in that respect it's frustrating. But like you say, in terms of the bigger picture, we've got a point today, and we take it, and we take it on to the next game. We keep building. We didn't lose, and we want to keep that unbeaten run going, like I say, towards the bigger picture at the end of the season.
Thanks very much, Dominic.
Thank you.
Well done, that man. Whether you like it or you don't, we've been shown today that football in 2020 is a game of fine computerised margins. We'll talk about all that after the break, but that was a very fine non-computerised header from that man. A brilliant leap. Duncan Ferguson would have been proud. All the reaction comes next. We're back. Look, it's been a real pleasure to have your company for what was a remarkable Merseyside derby. If we'd have been at home, we could have perhaps had a couple of beers watching that, and it might have made more sense to us. This weird game.
Oh, it was crazy when there was a few elements to it. Obviously, the potential sending off in the first half, and then the chaos at the end. It was a great game of football, and a good advert for it.
Indeed, there's so much to talk about, but before we do that, we're going to hear straight away from Jurgen Klopp. He has just emerged pitchside with Des, so let's go live there right now. Des, all yours.
Thanks very much, Jurgen. Was that everything you wanted to see, apart from that winner at the end?
Yeah, the performance was top. You saw the game yourself. I think you could see that was a top game. Was a good game from both teams. We were clear, dominant against a side who is full of confidence. Has a clear plan. We played a really good game. Was probably the best away game since I'm in Liverpool. We played at Goodison, and so in the end it's still a 2-2 for different reasons.
In terms of the responses, what you were looking for, you see out there.
What should I ask for? I saw a really good performance, and you would ask probably now, think that only happy when we win. That's would be more happy if we win, but the performance was the response at least. And I didn't actually want to see a response. I wanted to see that we stay. I can change it. So the game was good. I cannot say more about it. I loved it in so many moments. How we played football against such a good organized side with the counter-attacking threat there. Really good game. But 2-2. We have to admit, one goal we concede for like a minute or so after Virgil is out, and we have to reorganize the thing. They used that. They're brilliant in that. They wanted obviously constant corners from that side. And the second goal is an individual thing. So Calvert-Lewin is just an incredible player, and then that was pretty much his only situation in the game. But he's there. That's what a striker has to do. Scores that goal. Apart from that, we were superior in that game. We dominated it. But both teams get the point, and that's how it is.
That's a fair assessment. Thank you. Cheers.
He's a frustrated mix, isn't he, of a manager who knows his team with the smallest offside decision away from winning the game. Played well at times, gave us great entertainment, but he's not at all happy with the tackles on two of his players.
No, he held himself back there. I think he's bang on about the performance. I thought Liverpool
offside, so then it's irrelevant whether it was a foul or not.
Why is it
in terms
irrelevant?
of the penalty? Because there was an offside before it. So straight away, the penalty.
But if it's serious foul play,
it can be a red card.
Yeah.
But it can't be a penalty now. So you've only got two decisions to make. It was offside, so then it can't be a penalty. But it can be still a red card, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what David Coote has failed to apply, let's say. He's either just brushed it aside and thought, offside, the rest doesn't matter, let's tell the referee, play on. It's offside, let's get the game going again. But in my opinion, he should have been looking at it and thinking, right, it can't be a penalty, but absolutely it can be a red card again. And it's a horrific challenge. I mean, he's totally out of control, in the air, loads of force. I mean, his knee bends all kinds of ways. That's very dangerous, and I just hope it's not going to put him out for a long time. But the point of the matter is, Everton have got the indirect free kick for an offside, and all of a sudden Virgil van Dijk could be out for months and months and months if it's worst case scenario, and that can't be acceptable.
That's one side of it. So Dermot, I can hear Liverpool fans screaming at the screen all around the world saying, is that not what VAR was brought in to do? Clear up exactly things like that, and they haven't even looked at it. What would you say to that?
Well, the thing, he's looked at it, but he hasn't deemed it to be a red card offence, Steve. That's the thing. He hasn't gone to Michael and said, I think you need to go and look at the review monitor. I think because it's a subjective decision, they said, he has decided in his opinion that it's not a red card offence, and therefore he hasn't recommended either Michael to go or to say to himself he thinks it's a red card. As I said, Steve, earlier, I think a lot of people will go red card, some will go no. You know, that's how it is. But it's certainly not a very good tackle.
Well, I've got one of the most ardent Evertonians you'll ever meet in the studio here, Tim Cahill, and he's not saying no, are you?
No, I think, look, I'm an Evertonian, but I'm looking at it as rules, and VAR is a rule, whether it works in favour of Everton or Liverpool. The key element is quite alarming that an individual inside the VAR box can be subjective. There should be no subjection whatsoever. He has a duty to the game to say the rules are as they are. So, really, Dermot, you're saying that he made that decision. I just need to understand that point more.
No, I think if it was violent conduct, Tim, it's easy. You know, if he elbows him in the face, he punches him, it's factual, it's easy, it's a red card. Because he launches into a tackle, it then becomes subjective in so much as, is it serious foul play, is it reckless? And I think because the referee on the field hasn't deemed it's a red card offence, The VAR has gone the same way and deemed that subjectively they think it's a reckless challenge rather than a serious foul play challenge.
I think we can all see it's both, isn't it? It's reckless and it's endangering.
But would you like to have seen David Coote say to Michael Oliver, go and have a look at that? Michael, fans could quite easily say,
Yeah.
shouldn't be on the pitch.
And as Jurgen Klopp said in his interview, that the goal from the set piece was an area that you'd say that Virgil van Dijk would normally defend. So it's had a huge impact on the game, and it could have a huge impact on the rest of the season for Liverpool.
It certainly has, and we're saying it's getting overlooked, but let's just give it the gratitude it deserves. There's only 17 players ever to get to 100 goals in a Liverpool shirt. He's the third quickest, and as you can see, he's the quickest in the Premier League era, above greats such as Robbie Fowler, Ian Rush, and our very own Michael Owen.
I'm so grateful you squeezed me on at the bottom. Thank you, everyone.
Sadio Mane's goal as well, you enjoyed, didn't you, at the time?
Yeah, I enjoyed it because it was a great team goal. Trent Alexander starts it off looking forward, the gaps between the lines, Everton playing a bit deep, wary of the pace, but that then leave gaps. Coleman doesn't cover himself in glory, sprinting out and not stopping soon enough. And then when Andy Robertson doesn't have to do much to get past him, as soon as he gets past him, he lifts his head, pulls it back, bang, what a finish. And
Beautiful ball, Keane in the right area, but it just jumped, and it was an easy header, possibly could have been saved, but overall, it's a great reaction to conceding.
It certainly is. Everton still unbeaten, still top of the league. Here's Carlo Ancelotti.
Carlo, you said you wanted to measure your side against the champions. How did you fare?
Good feeling. We competed well. It was a excited game, difficult, but we were able, with a good character, to come back in the games, and so I'm satisfied. Of course, when you play a derby, you want to win, but the performance of the team was good, so we're still at the top, and the feeling is good.
A very close call at the end there. You must have felt that the points had slipped away.
Yeah, there were a lot of difficult decisions from the referee from the beginning, really difficult. But I think we on the pitch there was one of the best referee, and so no complaint for this.
2-2 then at Goodison. So much to talk about.